This Sheraton hotel in San Diego is being taken over by muscular guys with tight t-shirts and young girls in bikinis. In a few minutes, the first of 14 MMA fights will begin, organized by Epic Fighting, one of the biggest promoters of MMA in the city. People here paid between $50 and $100 to sit in front of the octagon, the 8-sided cage where two fighters will use hands, arms, knees, and feet to battle each other in less than 5 minutes per round.
And now, in the weekend, the time has arrived!
The MC summons Jaime Reyes, a crowd favorite, and his opponent, Miguel Lavalle, two young amateur Latino fighters. The two men start out by exchanging punches, and before long, they end up against the cage and onto the floor. They're using striking and grappling techniques, a mix of boxing, jiu-jitsu, wrestling, kickboxing, and karate. MMA is one of the fastest-growing sports in the world right now. The fights are intense, very quick, and combining a variety of disciplines. It's got a big following in Tijuana for historic, cultural, and economic reasons. Many young fighters who come from a boxing or lucha libre background hope to make it someday as MMA fighters in the U.S. And with the blink of an eye, the fight is over. Lavalle wins.
You're in the freeway, you see somebody fighting on the side of the road. You're gonna look, right? So I think that's what everybody likes about the sport. It's very, you never know what's gonna happen. There's no guaranteed who's gonna win. Not always the best fighter wins.
Alex Soto is 27 years old. He lives in San Diego, but trains at Chacal Gym in Tijuana, where he was born. Last year, he won the Ultimate Warrior Challenge Mexico featherweight title, which made him famous in the MMA scene in his native city. A membership at Chacal costs $40 a month. In San Diego, an MMA gym membership can cost up to $100 a month. Soto says that many other fighters from San Diego cross into Tijuana to train or to fight.
In mixed martial arts, while it was evolving, people are still learning different disciplines. Some people grew up wrestling and they go into boxing, and they don't know boxing very well. So they come to where the boxing world is, and that's here in Tijuana. And vice versa, Mexican fighters go to America to learn wrestling and learn the skill of wrestling and takedowns. So they're complementary to each other.
26, 27, 28.
In the 90s, MMA was illegal in most states. The sport was relegated to illegal venues or back alleys, and often across the border in Mexico. In 2005, California legalized the sport, and MMA came up with strict guidelines that protect the fighters. It is now sanctioned in 45 states. And at the center of this business is the Las Vegas-based Ultimate Fighting Championship, or UFC, a billion-dollar empire. In recent years, new gyms south of the border have tried to capitalize on that growth. There are now more than a dozen registered gyms, scores of informal ones, and at least 10 promising Tijuana-based fighters who compete internationally. Chacal Gym has 65 members, many of them working-class 14 to 20-year-old kids.
Well, we're trying to have as many young guys as we can to focus ourselves to the sport instead of being on the streets and looking at the news and what is going on over there. You know, we're trying to make them, if they need to somehow waste their energy or adrenaline or something, we have this correct sports to do instead of them being attracted to some other kind of violence.
Chacal's owner, Javier Martinez, says that growing up, his mother wouldn't let him watch contact sports like boxing or wrestling on TV because they were too violent. But today, young people like Javier Martinez and Alex Soto are betting on the popularity of MMA to help their peers in Tijuana. Right now, an amateur fighter south of the border can make less than $100 a fight, but they're driven by the promise of making more than $100,000 if they make it to Las Vegas someday.